In this video, we'll see how to create a React app, and in that a parent component and two child components. So in that, we'll pass the data from parent to child as a props, and then we'll see how it looks and how the data will getting passed as a props from parent to child. So let's get started. Okay, I have opened this official documentation of React. In that, you will see all the details related to how to install the apps and so on. So in that, there is a command that is npx create react app, and with the help of this command, you can install the React app. So let's copy. I have already done the installation for this using this command, that is npx create react app. So I will open the terminal, and then I will do the npm install. So npm install will do the node module installation, so it will download the node modules. It will take some time to download the node modules, but let's wait. I think it's now installed, so let's clear the terminal and do the npm start. So meanwhile, we'll see once we done the npm install, then it will download the required libraries or packages in the package.json. If you see the React version 18.3.1, React DOM, I think it's the localhost is getting started, development server. But meanwhile, you can see all the required packages are getting mentioned in this package.json. So let's close this package.json, and once we hit this create react npx create react app, it will download the default folders. And if you see in this src folder, there is one app.js. So in that, I have updated this app.js with this text that is hello. So once our UI is loaded, then it will print the hello keyword on the UI. So let's check on the UI. Yeah, so app is loaded, and if you see, the hello is getting printed on the UI. So yeah, so in that, let's create a two component, child 1 and child 2, and in that we'll pass the props data as a props from parent to these two child. So I have this one folder screens. In that, let's create one file, child com1.js, and I will create one more file, com2.js. So in that, we'll just let's create, go to this child comp1.js. Let's do the import, required imports, react. Oops. I will create this child component as a functional. So it will the functional component is like nothing but the JavaScript function, which will take the argument and then do its computation. So we'll get this props as the argument. So let's create const one, return, and then that will just print the div, and then that div will do the heading and the paragraph that will getting passed from parent. So let's okay, let's do one heading over here. Heading, and then let's enter one HR paragraph. It will make one line in between this text and the heading, and just child one component. So we have created this child comp one. So we have to export this as well. So let's export this component. Forgot to export default. And then, okay, then we'll do the same replica in this child 2, and just make this as a child 2. We'll do the same thing over here also. save. Then we have created the two child components. Then let's map these two child component in parent. So let's remove this text. Before adding these two components, I think we have to create one CSS. So rather than creating the separate file, I'll just for understanding purpose, I'll create one style over here, and then in once you started with these apps, then you have to create a separate SCSS or CSS file. So let's style width and put the width as a 200 px. Save the height also as 200 px. So it will create a small div with background color as a gray, and then margin for the div just for UI perspective. Let's save this, and then we'll copy the same thing and we paste it in this child 2 also, but we'll change the color, that is light blue. And then let's see. So we have done with this component creation, that we created two components, component child component 1 and child component 2. So let's import these two component in for parent. So let's map these two components. So we this child component 1, and then let's try this child component 2. So we have mapped these two components. So let's go on the UI and then see what happens. If you see, these two components are getting loaded, but the labels are same, but I think color is different. The light blue is not getting printed for this two. I think I have to print some different color. I guess it will print. I hope. No, light blue is there. So the component mapping is done. So now the main concept that we'll check, that is props concept. So what we'll do, we'll pass this heading, the different heading for this child 1 and child 2 from the props, and then we'll see how this props or the data is getting mapped over these two different components. So let's go to the parent component and then let's try. We'll do the heading. We'll pass this heading as child 1, and then same, copy this 2, and then we'll just pass the text, print, and we'll again copy this same text to the child 2. So we have passed this heading 1 heading and then text to the appropriate component, the child component 1 and child component 2. So let's come to this child component 1 and then this print before. So we pass this props from parent. So let's, before adding to the text, I'll show you how it looks. So I will do the console.log and then I will print the props and save. Go on UI and then see how it looks like. So if you open, let's open the terminal, and if you see, the props are getting passed. So we pass this heading as a child 1 and then text child 1 data print. So that we pass from the parent. So it will look like this. Let's close this terminal, inspect element, and then let's map this data. So in that the JSF concept will come into the picture. So once we have to print the data that we're getting from the parent, so we have to print this like this props dot heading, and then for text also we print props dot text. The same thing that we'll do for child 2 component. And let's remove this console.log and then go on the UI and then see what things and things. Props. I think in child 2 I have forgot to add the props. Save. Let's go to the UI and then see child 1 data print, child 2, I think child 1 data print. I think let's go. I think we have to forgot. Oh, if you see. Likewise, we can pass data from parent to child in this way. So that's the basic concept of how to pass the data from parent to child. So quickly, let's see what we have seen in so far. So we have created two components, so child 1 and child 2, which will take the data as a props and then it will print on the UI. So in that we have created one div as with 200 px and height 200 px, and then we'll just print the heading and then the text that we pass from the parent. So yeah, that's it. That's all about how we can pass the data as a props and how the JSX mapped on the UI. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.